Hello everybody, it's Chris here, and today I'm going to do an unboxing and a little bit of side-by-side comparison of the Launchpad Mini, which I just ordered a couple of those, alongside with Launchpad S, which is what I've recently upgraded to. But I thought it would be good to just kind of look at the Launchpad Mini compared to the Launchpad S and maybe talk through some of the things that I like about it, some of the things I don't like, and let you decide for yourself. And so let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. You get the Launchpad Mini. Of course, now I ordered this from Sweetwater, and by the way, any of you that order from Sweetwater, they give you some cool candy to go along with your order, and as well as a giant catalog, which is really nice for drooling over things that you want that you can't afford. So this is the box, the Launchpad Mini box. It's pretty small. Let's go ahead and pop it open so we can see what we're looking at. Okay, right on top we got our controller right away. What comes in the box? You get this USB to Mini B cable. You get a Launchpad starting guide, and also it comes with some stickers that you can use to label your Launchpad if you like to, as well as the getting started card. You got your serial number, your registration, quick start instructions, and all of that. So right away with the Launchpad, but one thing that I love right off the bat with the Launchpad Mini is the buttons. Of course, the buttons are smaller. If you look at them side by side with a Launchpad S, you can get a kind of a size comparison. They're not half the size; they're probably 1/3 the size, maybe, but they are smaller. I like it because one of the things that, I came from the mono world, and one of the things I really loved about the mono was it was being able to hold it in my hands like this and being able to reach across and be able to hit all the buttons. With the larger Launchpad series, it's a stretch, at least for me. I mean, I'm not a huge guy, but it's just kind of a stretch. It's not the kind of thing that you'd want to necessarily hold in your hand. It's better suited to just, sitting there and hitting stuff. So one thing I do like about the Launchpad S, of course, is that, with the regular size Launchpads, you can double tap, your fingers, and that's a bonus. You'll be able to easily get 4 buttons at a time if that's what you're doing. Of course, with the buttons being smaller, it's basically big enough for your finger. It's big enough for finger. You can hold it across both hands. You can do swipes that way. You can hold it this way. The reason I like this is because if you're performing, you can hold it up and you can show, you can basically show people what's going on. So you pick it up, and you can hit your buttons, you can show what's going on. And that makes it cool because, I have this performance surface that I've made that I can tilt this way so that the people can see what it is that I'm doing. But I actually really like being able to pick it up so people can see, oh, this is this thing that he picks up, and get a kind of a size, fit for it. So yeah, the buttons are a lot smaller. One thing I really like is that the buttons are a lot more. I feel like there's not as much distance from the top to where you depress it. And one thing I didn't like about one major complaint about the Launchpad regular buttons is that some of them, depending on which ones you're looking at, almost have like a double click. I don't know if you can hear this, but if you roll your finger across it, it kind of goes click, click. And it's really only one depress, but it has this click, 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 which from a tactile standpoint throws you off just a little bit, when you're playing. It's not a huge drawback, but I like the up and down feel, and that's exactly what you get with these. There's no crunch. The buttons are there. you know, it's either up or it's down, and there's, you know, you can pull your fingers across, you can run a finger across this way and not feel like you're going to get caught or anything like that. So same really nice, you know, silicone buttons have a really nice, you know, solid but kind of a soft feel to them. So it doesn't weigh very much, which is really nice. It's super compact. You know, as a size comparison, here's my iPhone, so you can see a size comparison between the two. So size-wise, it's a really nice form factor. I'm gonna flip it over here. One thing that's really nice with this, with the Mini model now, is that they have, instead of just putting pads on the bottom like they've done with the Launchpad they've got, if anybody's wondering what's going on here, I've obviously painted my Launchpad because I actually like not seeing the buttons. I think it kind of adds a little bit of the mystery to people wanting to see what's going on. It's like, oh, there's a button here that says mixer. That must be the mixer, but I actually like just painting it. By the way, it voids your warranty, so just so you know. Anyway, these have pads on the bottom, which, you know, these nice rubberized nonstick pads. I actually screwed some handles on the back of this because I'm doing a film project in which I'm mounting this on a stand up on the side of a wall, and so these don't normally come with it. But anyway, back to the pads. You've got these nice, you know, like non-slip pads here. The entire back of the Launchpad Mini is one gigantic rubber piece, actually. So this entire surface is this rubberized surface, which is really nice. I think, you know, once you get it onto something, you'll notice that it ain't gonna slip around. I mean, even if I'm tapping it here, it's not going anyplace. I'm not really pushing down it. So that's really super nice, having a full back non-slip surface. So the cable that comes with it is a, like I said, it's a USB-B. So you've got, you know, a normal USB connector on this side, and you have this mini, it's actually a mini B, but this mini B connector on the other side. This is actually pretty sure the same type of USB connector that the Keith McMillan Cuneo uses. I recently sold mine, so I can't look at to verify, but it looks similar, which is nice because it's a small, thin profile. However, these cables are, at least from my experience, are not super easy to come by, like locally. So if you need to get some extra ones, you probably need to go to monoprice.com or Amazon or something to order some extras so you have some spares, because certainly, at least here locally in Oregon, Fred Meyer's and Best Buy, I haven't easily seen these sitting in the aisles, and so I've usually had to order them online. So let's see, its big brother, it has a Kensington lock slot here, and then on this edge here is the USB-B slot, which plugs in like so. Now, one thing with this is that it kind of tapers down. It's kind of hard to see here, but it tapers down a little bit. So it starts off at this big block, and then it kind of goes down and then goes in. So the only thing I'm worried about in the future is just this right here, and I already can feel just a little bit of give here. I would just be aware of how much pressure you're putting on the cable if you're pulling it this way, if you're pushing down, and just be aware that it's just not. It's definitely a solid connection. Just be aware that this little connector right here is pretty thin. So if you're trying to, you know, if you're putting it in and out, make sure you put it solidly in and then take it solidly out straight. If you're one of those people that, like, you know, want to, you know, do this kind of thing and wiggle it to get out, that's going to put some pressure on that cable, and you're probably going to break it sooner than later. So just be aware of that, you know, going forward. So how do these two devices compare as far as the lights are concerned? Well, one thing I noticed last night when I was playing with them is that there's definitely some differences in the way that they appear once you plug them into the computer, and I'll demonstrate those right now. If anybody has been using the old Launchpad, you'll know that the new ones have like a bootloader and a firmware, and you can actually go into that firmware and you can set hardware addresses for if you're plugging in multiple Launchpads, and you can also change the brightness, or the power level rather, from low power to high power. I believe it defaults to low power on both devices when you buy them, and then you can actually go into the bootloader and put them to high power. Low power is, which you'll find out in the documentation, low power, if you're hooking it up to like an iPad, you'll need to run it in low power. If you want to run it in high power, yeah, I think you have to hook it up to a USB hub, a powered USB hub, in order for you to get that action going. So let's see, let me plug in this guy first. Get a really nice little rainbow color when you plug in. Now to get into the bootloader, you have to unplug it. And then you hold down user 1, user 2, and the mixer, basically the top four buttons. And you plug it back in. And now we're in the bootloader, if you can see that. And I believe I've got it in low power mode right now. This tells you which device you can assign a device ID to. This is your low power and high power. This is your bootware, firmware, and this is the exit button. Okay, so once again, I'm going to put it into low power mode just so we can put it back to its default setting. So power low. Okay. And then I'm going to exit. So this is low power mode. It's definitely visible. I'm in the middle of my garage in daylight. It's a little bit hard to see during daylight, and this is not even broad daylight. You know, if you were working outside, it would be pretty difficult to see, especially given the amber color scheme that I've got going on right now. So again, this is low power mode. You know, if you're in a darkened setting, this might be okay. I prefer the high power mode. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this, and we're gonna put it back into high power mode. So power full. Okay, exit. It's gonna give us our thing. And you can see right away that it's quite a bit brighter. And let me go ahead and do that patch again. So you can see that's quite a bit brighter. This is with the sunlight. It's still visible, like totally usable during the day. So if you're, you know, on the subway or in the park or something like that, you could definitely get away with running it in high power mode. I just think it looks cool, you know. And if you're playing a show in the dark, you know, high power mode's definitely the way to go. So there's that. So how does that compare to the Launchpad? The regular Launchpad. So let me pop this guy over here. We're gonna go ahead and look at the Launchpad here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this Launchpad into, it works the same way with the Launchpad S. You hold down these 4 buttons, you plug it in, get into the firmware. So this says power low. Okay, so we've got this other patch going on here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the second Launchpad. This is the Launchpad Mini in high power mode. This is the Launchpad S in low power mode. And they're running the same patch. As you can see, the LEDs in the Launchpad S are definitely, like, you can see the LEDs. There's not as much diffusion. Definitely on the Launchpad S or a Launchpad Mini, there's more diffusion across the LED, and I don't know if that's because of the construction or because they use different LEDs or different, you know, whatever gel material they use for the buttons. But it's definitely, the light distribution is definitely better on the Launchpad Mini. Then in terms of brightness, I'm going to go ahead and kill this, and I'm going to put the Launchpad S into high power mode. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's so much brighter. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it and refocus. It's hard to really tell. I mean, if you really just need to probably try it out on yours to get an idea what the brightness is. With just one of these, it lights up a dark room really well. And I'm gonna run a test in a couple days. I've got 5 more Launchpad S's coming. And I'm gonna plug them all in. I'm gonna run them all and just kind of see what kind of ambient light we got going with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut my garage door so we can get a look at what it looks like with all of the lights off. So the low power, high power mode is definitely not the same between the two devices. It's definitely have this more even tone with this guy, and you can, again, with the Launchpad S, you can see the individual LEDs quite a bit brighter here. So still very pleasant to look at, so very cool. By the way, the construction of both of these devices is really, really good. I have not taken apart the Launchpad Mini yet, but I've taken apart the Launchpad S, and I've taken apart the Launchpad, and the construction is super, super solid. It's basically a solid piece of plastic on the top, solid piece of plastic on the bottom, a couple screws, and then the PCB is all one piece, and then the buttons are all one piece. And so, like, if anybody out there who don't care about voiding your warranty, have a fear of messing things up, if you decide you want to paint it or do like a custom, I would love to see somebody do just like an awesome like graffiti or like a custom airbrush job on a Launchpad case. So anyway, if you've got any questions or any comments, leave them in the comments below, or send me a quick message. Have fun and keep mashing buttons.